Hey, people into here, 3v3 faction war. This is Estia province and Space Marines versus Tyranids for the blue Space Marine team. The Tenso is an Apothecary support hero fighting in melee combat. By default begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Alongside Bruce Campbell, rocking a Techmarine, starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. This is the Black Templars elite scheme, recolored like red and white. And rounding off the blue team here, Noisy with a Force Commander. Very good offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. We got the Blood Angels elite scheme here. Red Tyranids. oLev is a Hive Tyrant, a very durable hero, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful disruption and support. Begins in melee combat with a basic synapse, I shall call you Ortiz. Alongside here, YZ with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support too. Rounding off the teams, RedRe Venge with a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero with great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support. Begins with a ranged weapon. You can see one of his tunnels over here behind that building, kicking off towards the mid. Lictor Alpha pushing through, scouts on the flank, but they are being engaged by double termagants. Here comes Ortiz, the Hive Tyrant. They've pushed them back to the power. Can they touch it now? Tactical Marines are coming back to try and defend. Anything coming from the mid? Yep, here comes a Techmarine now. And some more tacks. They're trying to get the node though. Shotgun scouts moving in, trying to get the blast on the Hormagaunts. There it is. Apothecary is going to get taken down, I think. A well-timed flesh hook there from YZ. Ortiz, the Hive Tyrant, is pushing against the Tactical Marines and the scouts. Double tacks here for Bruce Campbell. Double scouts from the other Space Marine players. Lictor Alpha's been all sneaky though. Kills one. One of these scouts, that is. Didn't have the flesh hook to kill another though. Ortiz, the Hive Tyrant, in retreat, breaking things. Good little push from the Tyranids. I mean, they killed the Apothecary. They got the odd model here and there, but maybe capping the Western VP while that was going on would have been better. Termagants having to back off here. oLev with a Ravener Brood on the way. RedRe Venge already has a Warrior Brood on the field. These guys have power melee weapons and can jump on you to knock you over. Also a Warrior Brood for YZ. There's that leap into the Force Commander, but he hit his retreat in time. Scouts with their shotguns as well can blast them back. There it was, but those guys again were in retreat, so they weren't knocked over. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands here though for RedRe Venge. Big threat to the Tactical Marines now. That 10% health and 22% damage really adds up. They have less damage out the gate these days, but I think they back up to the same amount when they have their adrenal glands as they had before. That's why it's a 22% increase and not a 20% increase, I believe. 477 to 439. Tyranids pushing through the mid. Uncapped VP, they want to clear it out first. Ravener Brood here for oLev. Pumping out some impressive piercing DPS. And there's the Burrow Strike onto the devs. That disruption. Now they can tie them up in melee maybe. Or just shoot stuff. Now there's the melee. Hormagaunts closing the distance. These guys don't have their adrenal glands, but they're still a threat to those devastators, that's for sure. Shotgun blast on these Hormagaunts. Swarmed with them. You can see why the Tenso got Devastators up. Fighting triple Hormagaunts into Raveners can be very tough. Might want to get the Purification rights as well. He's gone for the Sanguine Chainsaw to help him brawl with them. Pushing up towards the power is YZ, just skulking their way over to the east side, flanking against Noisy. Tactical Marines are going to get away, I think. Yes, and they didn't even drop a model. Wow. Was expecting a flesh hook to try and get one of those models, but we didn't see it. We do see a burrowing Ravener Alpha though with the hardened carapace. Can burrow indefinitely, I believe. Gives him more health, energy, and energy regen. 459 to 439 on the VP is pretty close. Some good opening engagements though for the Tyranids. Now players starting to think about their tier 2s. More Raveners though for RedRe Venge this time. YZ with a Ravener Brood too. So all three players getting a Ravener Brood up in tier 1. Ortiz the Hive Tyrant with a warp field, protecting his health there. And advanced targeting for those Devastators of the Tenso. Noisy also with advanced targeting to defend the power. Gonna see that Burrow Strike again, setting up the warrior push. And Tactical Marines do not want to fight warriors in melee. Dropping a model there, perhaps lucky not to drop two. Can those guys get another? Nope. Burrowing again is the Revenant Alpha. He's causing a lot of problems here. They need the Scout Sergeants to help spot that guy. Bashing power, can't be repaired. Gonna strike against those Devastators, I think. There it is. Force Commander's there to counter initiate. Doesn't have any war gear though. All Scouts maybe setting up a cheeky grenade from the flank. Warrior Brood are a synapse creature, so they're providing a basic synapse, and if you take them out, they'll get a nice synapse bomb, so they are typically prime targets for gunfire. And we might see some plasma guns in tier 2 to take advantage of their weakness to plasma, being heavy infantry. We've got an assault squad for Noisy. Death Company colours with the Blood Angels elite scheme. You're wondering why they are black. Taking out this tunnel, the Force Commander, not interested in fighting Tyranids. Really wants that tunnel taken care of. There it goes, you get some red and some XP for it. Space Marines have taken back the west side. Here's the Apothecary. No sign of purification rights. Bruce Campbell back down to double tax. Get some more scouts up though. Big tier 1s from the Tyranid players, as you often see. Double Raveners for oLev, and they're bashing power too, and it's a pretty good bash, as you can see, with double Raveners. Hormagaunts helping out. Has lost one of their Hormagaunt broods, but these guys both have adrenal glands, so it's quite a potent tier 1 army here, with the Hive Tyrant providing synapse for all if he's close enough. 423 to 394. Well-timed Burrow Strike there, and Ortiz gets into melee, ties those guys up. More melee from the Ravener brood too. Hormagaunts kind of getting wrecked, need to be careful. They can reinforce off this brood nest here, but I don't think they were quite close enough. These guys are now reinforcing. Shotgun Scouts doing some good work. They will take a lot of damage from those Ravener shots, but they're trying to keep them tied up. And he's brawling quite well here. Raveners also, of course, able to reinforce off the brood nest. There it is. They are quite expensive to reinforce. 7 power per model. Down goes the brood nest though, so that will not complete, and they get the kill. Perfectly timed brood nest destruction there. Slightly unlucky for oLev maybe. They kind of misjudged that. So that was a good little win at the end of tier 1 for the Tenso. Bruce Campbell asking for Lariman's blessing, and there it was. Noisy's got a power sword up for the Force Commander now. Ravener Alpha is down. Uh-oh, Tactical Marines might wipe here. Oh, they're so... How have they got 2 models on 50 hit points? That's very lucky. Lictor Alpha with the Toxin Miasma. Or Miasma, I'm not sure how you meant to say it. Ortiz retreating through the map, and a power bash potentially from the Tenso. Are there any flamers? No flamers. Razorback low for Bruce Campbell. Hormagaunts are going to wipe. Almost got the generator. 1 hit point. Seriously. Are they going to repair it? I guess not. Bruce Campbell's not interested in repairing your generator, Noisy. You'll do it yourself. You got a tunnel all the way up here. That could lead to some power bashes later. As the action starts to shift towards the middle and towards the west side a bit more in the late game. Tier 2 all round. Feels like quite late tier 2s, but I could be wrong. Feels like an 8 or 9 minute tier 2. Usually there's 6 or 7 minutes before you get tier 2 rolling. It can be hard to judge. Warrior Brood knocking down stuff left and right alongside those Hormagaunts, doing some good damage. There's a Capillary Tower to help support with some speed bonuses and stuff, and some damage reduction. Going after that Apothecary. Heals himself. That shotgun blast was clutch. I think they would have killed the Apothecary if it wasn't for that shotgun blast. There's Electro Shock Grubs onto the Razorback, slowing it down, doing some damage. And a Venom Brood up here for Red Revenge. Oh, also for YZ right here, and down goes the Razorback. Took too long to tie them up, but the other Venom Brood coming in probably would have finished it off anyway. Tyrant Guard for oLev. Was it called in off the global bar? I'm not sure. From the look of the resources, perhaps not. We do see Crushing Claws though for the Hive Tyrant, so this might have been where all the resources went. This thing is expensive, but super effective. 108 heavy melee DPS. The most powerful straight up DPS weapon you can get for a hero. It doesn't do anything else, just kill things. Power bashing from Noisy. Reasonably effective bash, not great. I don't think they're going to be able to finish it. Here comes a whole bunch of Tyranids. Full retreat. They got one gen. Dreadnought on the way for both Noisy and the Tenso. Gonna be bad news for all this melee stuff. But we do have Venom Broods up already. Hive Tyrant also has the anti-vehicle weapon of the Crushing Claws and a Burrow Trap for Ravener Alpha. Do we see any around? I don't see any around. Not often you see Burrow Traps in the game. Oh, this generator still has one hit point over here. They did not repair it. Oh, Synapse Explosion. Off the bat, it's a good way to start a fight. Lictor Alpha level 2. Ravener Brood trying to initiate with the Burrow Shot and a dodge the grenade as well. 400 to 266. Decent VP lead for the Space Marines here. Tyranids are piling on the pressure as you'd expect. It's basically the only way they can play, right? Pressure, pressure, pressure. Not great at stabilizing on VPs. Although they can kind of do it in tier 3 when they got the March of the Carnifexes going. Typically though, you want to, ouch, apply forward momentum, kill as much stuff as you can, bash as much power as you can, to kind of keep the enemy team pinned back with waves and waves of pressure. But Space Marines are pretty good at withstanding that kind of thing. It's a really fun matchup, I think, in Faction Wars, Tyranids versus Space Marines. Dreadnought for Tenso starts off as a melee unit, and here is Noisy's one, also in its default melee loadout. Assault Squad have a Sergeant, Force Corner level 3, that sword, Power Bash here from the Tenso, and we do see double Plasma Tactical Marines. That's really bad news for the Warrior Brooders that are around. Pretty much bad news for all of the infantry, really, but Warrior Brood especially. If they pop their Kraken Bolts and hit those Plasma Gun shots, Warrior Brood aren't going to last very long. Can they deal with these Dreadnoughts? Oh, it's a Genestealer Brood. Melee superiority unit for the Tyranids. It doesn't really want to tangle with a Dreadnought that has melee resistance such as this guy. Yeah, he got torn up there. Torn up. They really need to keep the Venom Broods in a good position to fight. They can get jumped, of course, the Venom Brood. Looks like they are going to deal with this Dreadnought. Maybe it's getting repairs. It is getting a lot of repairs. But down it goes. Venom Brood get it done. Lictor Alpha needs to run. There's a damage over time tick on the Dreadnought. I suppose it wouldn't be very much, would it? Piercing damage. Apothecary is down here. The Pillory Tower going up in a line of sight blocked location, although they can attack it from the side here. Tyrant Guard of oLev. Super heavy infantry armor taking a lot of damage from these Vengeance rounds. Ouch. And these guys don't have plasma guns, so they're not doing a lot of damage to the Tyrant Guard. Kind of shrugging off the piercing damage of the bolters. But plasma guns are bad news for it. These guys have it, which is why it's going to tie them up. 394 to 190. 2-to-1 cap for the Space Marines. Tier 3 for YZ, Tier 3 also for Bruce Campbell. Tyrant Guard goes into Shield Wall where it gets health regen and turns into vehicle armor. Able to out-heal the Vengeance rounds at that range, it felt like. It's a good push. Another wave of pressure here came at just the right time. And they can get the VP. Bunch of stuff died over here. Hormogaunts, I guess. Bash that power maybe and get that drop pod destroyed, perhaps. They're going for the power. We got some heavy melee warrior brood providing a melee synapse. But what are they providing it to? The Hormagaunts, I suppose, is all they're providing it to over here. Unless we get some melee Raveners at some point. Ouch. Warrior brood getting messed up by shotguns and plasmas. And, oh no, Ortiz, run! Run, Ortiz, no! Might go down. Just breaking through all the walls. And gets away. Wait, these are meant to be heavy crush walls. How did he get through them? Does he get heavy crush when he's in retreat? Don't think I ever realised that. Huh. I always thought that the bonded exoskeleton should give him heavy crush, and maybe the heavy armor for the war boss as well should give him heavy crush, like Terminators have. Although that would mean that the Chaos Lord and the Brother Captain never get heavy crush, but they've got things, other things going on. 376 to 163. Force Commander now fully kitted out with a Sacred Standard, and Artificer is off the field though. Good jump. Messing up this Venom Brood. That basically sets up the win for this fight. I think Genestealers can't do a whole lot. They're trying to get something done. They tried to get onto the Tactical Marines, but then they ate an Emperor's Fist. They're struggling to deal with that Dreadnought over here. The Venom Brood are just getting jumped, and then there's nothing left to contest the Dreadnought really. Acid Splatter Ravener Alpha goes down. It's a fun melee weapon though. Splash damage power melee weapons are always fun. Terminator's up for Bruce Campbell. And has those double tacks as well. Trying to outshoot stuff. Hormagaunts briefly getting in there. What does the Techmarine himself have? Just bionics. And they're going to get onto the VP, I think. What is that? Oh, Cataclysm from the Neurothroat. This is YZ's. Good at dealing with clumps of infantry, especially heavy and super heavy infantry, because of this Paroxysm. Great tool to use against Marines. Does percentage based damage per second and extra damage versus heavy and super heavy because of its psychic damage type. So if you can catch some Terminators in there, you basically force a retreat, because it also force a teleport, I should say. So it does slow you down a bit as well. Ravener Brood getting messed up by scouts, but they are away. Can they get a revive for this? Ravener down goes the Dreadnought. They got it done. Venom Brood got it done. Perhaps some support there from YZ. They do have the ranged synapse to buff the Ravener Broods and the Termagants. Uh-oh. Noisy forgot about their Tactical Marines for a second, but they are going to be okay, I think. Here you see the Absorb Life from the Neurothroat, draining health off those guys. It's one of the ways that he gets energy back, because he doesn't naturally regenerate energy, as you can see. He needs to use his Leech Essence ability or the Absorb Life. Down goes the Ravener Alpha again. Yikes. Says Red Revenge. Apothecary getting stuck in. It's only level 3. Typically you'd expect him to be a bit higher level by now. Ortiz does not want to face tank the Vengeance rounds with double plasma attacks there as well. Look at the damage they're doing to the Tyrant Guard here. Hormagaunts trying to help, but this guy might get chased down. I guess he can always go into shield wall if he gets into big trouble. YZ just showing the army there to distract the Tenso. Tyrant Guard's going back in. Don't know if that was the best plan, oLev. Where's the shield wall, buddy? There it is. It's a lot of damage though. Burrow Strike. It's a good one. Tyrant Guard lives for now, but his Power Fist Terminators, they're trying to finish him off. Soaked up a lot of damage and drew a lot of attention, this guy. But I think he is going to go down here. The Tyrant Guard goes down. Predator tank here for Tenso. Bruce Campbell. Getting some good work done. The Tyrant Guard allowed them to come back into this side. Got the Apothecary down. And the Lictor is taking the VP back. Ortiz, the Hive Tyrant, pushing against some Space Marines. It's always tough to level your heroes against Space Marines, I feel like. We've got level 3, level 4, level 2. 3, 5 and 5 for the Space Marines. It's tougher to get kills. Don't concede, we fight, says Red Revenge. A lot of VPs to make up though, buddy. 376 to 45. Assault Cannon Terminators here. They are through the mid. Gene Stealers are decapping. Can they finish off this power gen? They can. Techmarine standing there like, what do you want me to do? I can't repair. Force Commander's in range for that Sacred Standard buff now. Gene Stealers did get a decap, down to 45 VPs. And the first Carnifex in the field here. Is the Neurothrope still alive? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Was it YZ? Yeah. Okay, here comes Ortiz for another push. Got that Venom Cannon Carnifex. Great versus large targets, such as that Predator tank. Reasonable accuracy maybe against the Terminators. These guys are medium sized now, not large. So, not as accurate as it would have been before. 372 to 32. Ortiz tries to get the cap with the warp field, but look at the damage he took. Does get away. Oh no, does not get away. Big synapse explosion there. It's one of formation. Can they get the cap? They're trying. They are trying. Puts the Carnifex at the head of the army just to draw fire here. Standing up well against the plasma guns. The bioplasma there missed. The tank was forced to back off though. And they got the decap. There's a paroxysm. Terminator's teleporting the hell away from that. And a big old retreat from the Tactical Marines. Can they stabilize off this push a little bit? Maybe get a brood nest over here behind the line of sight blocker. 369 to 19. There's a double cap. And it's Red Revenge. It's up to Red Revenge to push this VP, I think, a little bit. As any time you can get a cheeky decap over there. The Gene Stealer's going to go after it. It's a double Gene Stealers here for Red Revenge. Bloody hell. They really want to kill some Assault Marines, don't they? Tyranids are holding the west side for now. Bruce Campbell's Terminator is getting kind of low. Doing some good work with that Assault Cannon. They have that inspiration on kill, so it's often a great idea. Oh, Neurothrope just dies out in the open. A needless death there. Paroxysm was doing some good work as well. As I was saying, it's often a good idea to target weak, low health models with your Terminator so you get those inspirations popping. Or you can just kill a Neurothrope that floats there. Whoa! Almost took out the tank with the bioplasma. That bioplasma is awesome. Got two Venom Cannon Carnifexes here. So close to going down. That's like 3 or 4 times the Space Marines have been pretty close to losing something and it gets away. Apothecary trying to melee a Carnifex for a second there. Now we're going after the Warrior Brood. They do get away though. I think. Not looking at them anymore. Another Carnifex on the way for Red Revenge this time. Gene Stealers are in there, doing massive amounts of damage to those Tactical Marines. The tank has been repaired up pretty well. We got a melee Techmarine, which is fun. Axe of the Mechanicum, which gets buffed by Bionics. And also the Refractor Field. Unique amongst shields. Lowers the accuracy of stuff that's trying to shoot him, but does not provide the knockback immunity that other shields tend to do. We do see a brood nest, but it's out in the open. I guess it is further away from the middle though. Tyranno formation. A decent hit on the Terminators, and it forced those Tactical Marines forward. Ortiz now in there, mixing it up with his crushing claws. Bioplasma to stop the cap. What is this? Is this a Thornback? It is a Thornback for Red Revenge. Down goes Ortiz, the Hive Tyrant. Bioplasma again was aiming for the tank, couldn't quite hit it that time. Rippers spawned in by the Carnifex there. Maybe they need some more of that stuff. Rippers coming out of these capillary towers. I don't think maybe you can't do that anymore. Did they stop that? You used to be able to get spawn mines and rippers out of the capillary towers. So I'm not sure if they still allow that to happen. 264 to 19. Land Raider Redeemer on the way for Noisy. Tyranids are putting up a hell of a fight here. oLev is a little bit depleted, but the other Tyranid players have full rosters. Are they literally full? They can squeeze in another couple of units maybe. Not anything big though. I think RedRe Venge can. Carnifex charging in. Has it gone too far? Because that is a las cannon predator tank. Now we're trying to get away. And the tank might be able to chase it down here. Armor of the Apothecary up for the Apothecary. Quite late, but it's there. And having a big impact already. Such a great piece of armor for 3v3 faction wars. Carnifex gets away. Barely is going to need to march back to base though, I think. Uh-oh, las cannon. Boom. They need those Carnifex counters. Land Red Redeemer is on the field for Noisy and looks like it is coming towards the west side, I think. It's in the middle right now. I think this Carnifex is done for. The tank should be chasing it down. Or not. Carnifex gets away. It's a couple of times that Bruce Campbell, I think, should have finished off the Carnifex with a chase. I mean, Bruce Campbell can't see what we can see. He doesn't know what else is lurking in the fog of war for them. They're still holding it. Looks like Noisy is going after... No, he's not. He's going after the PAL, not the VP. The Land Raiders right here. oLev with 2 Carnifexes now. Where are the Barbed Strangler Carnifexes, damn it? This thing doesn't have an upgrade. Maybe that'll get it. Power Bash. Pretty effective with the Land Raider Redeemer. Kicking off on the west side still. Big, massive bodies. Neuro Throat would have been so great here. Can they get the tank? Bioplasma. Oh, should have used it for the tank. Wanted to shut down that las cannon. Is he going to be able to get away? Looks like it, maybe. Gets stuck on the other Carnifex and gets away. That Bioplasma shot on the las cannon might have saved it. But it could have finished off the tank, maybe. Decisions, decisions. We have an unupgraded Carnifex for oLev here. They have the resources to upgrade it, but they haven't done so. 180 to 18. 2 to 1 for the Space Marines. And they decap the natural. There's the double. Electroshock grubs. And the Venom Brood are getting shots in, but I think they've run out of time here, the Tyranids. There's the win for the Space Marines with a double cap at the end. A vital push here from Noisy to get the decap going. With a level 5 Apothecary for Tenso. I think that Carnifex was down. Not sure why. I guess oLev was trying to get something else on the field. Level 8 Techmarine. Did a lot of work. Noisy's Force Commander level 6. Ortiz the Hive Tyrant is level 4 and down. Lictor Alpha level 6 and down. And the Ravener Alpha, man, only level 2. And down at the end. Fun one. I think the Neurothrope going down is a big loss. And the lack of Barbed Strangler Carnifex. There's a lot of Venom Cannons, but Barbed Stranglers are pretty awesome. It's tough. It is tough for Tyranids if they can't get the Carnifex train rolling like relatively early. They can struggle to crash against the wall of Space Marines that they face. But they gave it a hell of a good go. Got that down to 180 VPs. It was pretty close. There was another Neurothrope on the way too. But there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part. That's Noisy. And thanks to Impregnable for hosting the event. I'll see you next time.